Well, hello. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I know I say that every time and things tend to work as they should, but it's still worth checking. Anyways, really don't have a lot on the agenda tonight other than just testing. Well, hello. Okay, yep, that comes through. So, a new year means new AC leagues on the horizon, new sim racing shit to mess around with, and a whole bunch of fun stuff to drive. We are now entering AC's, I believe it's either our 7th or 8th year in existence. Probably our 8th, maybe even the 9th. I don't know, math is difficult, but we've been at this for a while, which means there's a lot of fun shit available for AC, finally, that makes it worth playing. And I figured tonight, to start off the new year, I would mess around testing some leagues and some one-off races that I plan to be competing in the weeks coming up. One of these is going to be the VRC Formula NA 2018, otherwise known as the Dallara IR-18 at Road America. It's just a private Discord group is hosting a full-length Road America race to kick off the new year. It's coming up here in a few weeks in January, so I figured I'd build a setup tonight, just get that out of the way. And then a private flight sim squadron is going to be running a V8 Supercar season here starting in the next week or two. So I'll be taking laps in that as well, which is really exciting. Unfortunately, I still haven't figured out how to stream a 21x9 because I'm an idiot, but hopefully it doesn't deter you too much. But yeah, 2 exciting cars I get to drive tonight. Hopefully I'll make some smart setup changes, build a good setup, feel out the cars. They're both cars I'm familiar driving. It's just putting in the time to make them faster, because as you know with sim racing, default setups are generally aids. So, what are we driving first? This is the VRC Formula NA 2018. It's available on their website for a couple bucks. There are ways to obtain it for free by cheating their anti-piracy measures, which is really, really dirty, and I hope they fix it. Should I reveal this on the stream? Yes. Personally, I have paid for this car, but their anti-piracy is very lacking. As long as you type in the email of anyone who's purchased the car, you will get a download link. So if you go to, let's say, a popular sim racing YouTuber, their channel, and go to their About section and click to see their email, and then type that email in on the download page for any VRC mod, and they happen to have downloaded it because they've made a review on it, you will get the link free of charge. I'm not advocating for this, I'm just saying that there is a very obvious loophole, and it seems silly at that point. But again, you probably should pay for this. It's only a couple of bucks. It's a very high quality mod. There are 2 IR-18 payware mods out there for AC that replicate different seasons, one without the aero canopy, which you see here, and then 2 with the aero canopy, one by VRC again, and another by, I believe it's Race Sim Studio. Again, both are pretty good. Most people are going to end up buying both anyway if they love IndyCar. But yeah, our event is going to take place at Road America, so I'll run through the baseline set I made last night, load that in. Gears from my buddy James Pendry. He has suggested lengthening the final drive. Tires haven't changed. Fuel I haven't changed just because I want to keep something static. Aero, we've taken off the rear main plane or gone as low as we possibly can. As you adjust it, it actually changes on the car, which is really, really neat. And then we just run a ton of flaps, or max flaps. Alignment, the car was over cambered by default, so we've reduced that. I've changed the toe slightly to -0.2 in the front, +0.2 in the rear. The camber was a big one. It was like -3.1 by default. That's just wrong. Dampers will probably be our first change right off the bat after we turn some shakedown laps. AC just doesn't like fast bumper rebound at all, so you typically run those as low as you can just to soak up curbs and stuff like that. I don't know why it's this high. This, to me, seems set up to be a death trap. Drivetrain, I reduce the strength of the diff power, increase the diff coast percentage, left preload where it is. Generic, I turned brake bias up just a bit. Haven't touched heave dampers because, quite honestly, I really don't know what they do yet. And in highlighting them, you don't get a description. Travel range I haven't fucked with yet. Suspension, I've cranked up the sway bars. And visuals, you can turn the frontal protection on and off. Don't really care for it. It's a video game, not gonna die. So yeah, that's the set we're running. I'm running on the blacks, 30 liters of fuel. Let's go turn our first initial laps. My friends ran in the 142s on the red alternate tires. So ideally I wanted to break into the 142s on blacks. First lap is usually a throwaway. I practiced a bit last night. So off we go. Ted will join us probably a little later, about 15-20 minutes from now. So I'll have someone to read the chat and just hang out. Take questions and chat shit about sim racing. Again, thanks for tuning in to our podcast these last few months here. Something different for us to do. And the time at the top is my personal best here. All time in this car, which includes last night's testing session, so I can directly compare overall. So our opening shit lap out of the way, let's see what we can actually do here. Not familiar with American tracks. Which one is this? Road America? Yes, this is Road America. Road Atlanta's the shorter one. Not really sure how I've lost 7/10 already. God, what? It feels completely different than last night. Maybe I made some last-minute adjustments that I shouldn't have. Probably rear sway bar, and then shocks. Yeah, that's a rough time, 144.6. Not very good. But we are up now. So that's promising. How'd you get Sidekick to look like that? I installed a different font. You can install different fonts in AC. So someone made like a mock AC console font. So I use that. Because I think the UI on the console is really, really good for this game. And I wish it got ported over to PC. Thankfully, someone else thought the same I did and made it. There's a couple of small UI mods that I use. Just because like, I'm in AC so much, I hate how it looks by default. So like if there's something as small as a font change or like an icon change, I'm all for it. And look at this, we are actually running pretty quick now. Seems like once the tires start getting broken in, car is okay. Down the second for Canada corner, I believe it's called. Okay, don't touch the fucking curbs. Holy shit. It's not like that. That's a shame too, because that was a pretty good lap. Try again here. Not a bad opening sector. Seems it likes when I roll the center. Right on pace with my PB on blacks. So we'll take James' advice. Actually, no, I think he said first gear instead of second, but might have to stay in second. I don't know, the tires scuff up. Yeah, it seems like it. Fuck me. Lap won't count. You can really cut that. So I just got adventurous. But it's good to know I was 2/10 up even with a couple mistakes. Clocked me at a 43.2, not bad. Oh wow, it was a sexy turn one, even with the little bobble. Ah, fuck the exit though. My bad. It's really chewing up the left front. This is probably what eats the left front, to be honest with you. Much better corner. One more lap. Into the 142s, that's a good sign already. Cheater turn one, but again, lots of leagues allow that. I'm in the grass. Fuck me. Anyway, that lap's abandoned because it would have ran out of fuel. Was up, though. Okay, so that's good. 42.9. Already making progress. So, let's make a few adjustments. So, first of all, rebound, don't need any sort of fast bump or fast rebound, completely useless. Basically don't even know why it's a setting on the car. Preload can probably go down to like 5. 43, let's go like 25 or 20. So, save that as V3. And we will go out again. What FOV you're running? I actually don't know. I do have an ultra wide, so that might fuck with it a bit, or fuck with the relativity that people know just a bit. That's cool, man. It's kind of loose on new tires. Really doesn't like that. And you can probably see it's even taken these curbs a lot better now. That. Too much curb. Alright, let's try this here. Now, car does get faster over a run. So I expect to be down a few tenths to start off, and then we'll get quicker. Yeah, it seems like entry's improved, just hope I'm not losing exit. We'll see here over a few laps. Oh man, it's just not hooking at all, but we'll try and ride it out. It's just like the last setup, it got miraculously faster on lap 3. Have I ever been to a race in the States in real life? Yes, I went to the 2018 K&N Series West race at Evergreen Speedway. Me and my crew chief went. Made a weekend out of it. That was way wide. Not legal. This is promising. Yeah, seems like the tires need some heat in them before they start working. What a concept. Great exit there. So differential settings are fine. I need to fuck with the rear rebound because sometimes the car unloads in that 90-degree right-hand corner. I prefer it doesn't do that. But this isn't terrible. Wow, great exit there. There we go. Bad exit. It's definitely tighter than the car used to be, which is a good thing for these cars because when that turbo comes on, it's pretty noticeable. Still 3/10 down. Can't tell if it's me or the setup. Holy fuck. Big slide. We are like a 10th up out of Sector 1, so like I'm thinking I can gain a 10th here and a 10th there. Put down a pretty quick time. Sneaking there on the left front. It's not tight enough for that corner. Or not loose enough. That was legal? Okay. One more lap in this stint, and then we have some setup changes incoming. Big send into 1. Nope. We need a backup car? No, we do not. So that's a pretty simple fix. Let's go fuck with the shocks. As always, we are getting cucked by our shock package. Rear rebound is too high. 1109. I want more weight transfer. But I want the rear end to come up slower so it doesn't unload on me. Are we playing the AC? We are playing the AC. This should be... This might fix it. Can I slam the car? Sure, why not? Now we're running a big bar, so we should... Oh, wow. Riley put up a server. Feel free to join us, Austin. Okay. You know what? I'll save this as V4 experimental. Save. Do you guys want me to come in the chat and say hi? I mean, it's something for people to listen to. Okay, so we'll see if my splash screen worked. Oh my goodness, it did! My brand new bumper screen works. Anyway, let's go join the Hi Racing boys. Just some guys I race with on Sim Racing System. Hang out with in Discord sometimes, where I don't say anything and listen to their banter. Recent... Nope. Favorites? Nope. AC's a pain in the ass. Hi Indy. Join. Hope this works. What up, Nick Earl? Not a lot going on. We are just testing right now. Does everyone like my splash screen? Let's see if this works now. I am Ryan Hunter Ray, I guess. I don't want to be. But anyway, we are in the practice server. It seems to be the same settings. Let's load our V4 set. And we're in. Okay, and one of the hi guys say track limits, pit stop, and start rules are enforced by the game. Cool. So it's vanilla AC. That's a badass splash screen. Thank you. Yeah, I kind of wish someone could do like proper art for me, but I kind of like keeping my streams lo-fi as like a hangout place. So let's just check if everything's correct. It is primary. I don't think the pressures are right, but whatever. Well, let's hit the track, see what happens. Want to send the setup over? Sure. Let's roll. I don't want to be Ryan Hunter Ray. He ran the Pride car. It's rotating better. Way better. Like almost too good. Might be an issue. We'll see. Okay, no, that... Holy fuck. It rotated so well I clipped the grass during the carousel. Bit spooky. What sim are you on? This is a Assetto Corsa, my man. Okay, lowering the ride height was beneficial. Getting better straight line speed already. Those little green bars at the top you see are push to pass. I'm not going to use them. I do want like a good benchmark time. As you can see, I cannot drive to save my life. Alright, green flag. This is setup V4. Let's go. Holy fuck. Didn't like that. Did not like that at all. Jesus Christ. It's turning too well. That's a problem. But on the plus side, I'm actually pulling on my PB. Just a bit. I should pull on it a ton here because I don't really have to lift. Yep, look at all those tenths fly off the board. Fuck me. Yeah, it's still unloading. There's definitely potential in this set, though. Yeah, and you can see it right there, off the, off turn 2, gained a 10th. Okay, I can go flat through there, that's really good. Look at that. Lowering the ride height, more is gooder. That's what I've learned so far. Whereas in P-Cars 2, you want the nose in the air, so air hits the underside diffuser. And of course, your boy botches the final corner. And loses a whole 10th. Let's try that again. That was embarrassing. 10th and a half I lost. Fuck me. Big oops. Don't do turn 1 like that. That was terrible. Well, I'm up couple hundreds, so if I get the final corner right, it'll be a lot better of a time. This is rotating so much better. Someone is in front of me. Good, I actually took turn one like a good boy. I guess we can see how it acts in dirty air. AC though, I've really never noticed it. Well, this isn't going to be fair. I have a draft lap going, but whatever. Why are you doing this to me? Oh well, we got one more lap. Good, I get to throw away my draft lap. And I threw away the whole fucking car either. Okay. Let's get back to the track. Oh no, I'm in the sand. Okay, let's just take a shot at it. That felt pretty good, so... As long as the dirt's off by turn one. Give it another shot. Hit the line a bit slower than we needed to be. Oh well. Bad turn one. Nope. Anyway. Mr. Ted. You want me to call you on Discord? I can call you on Discord. Oh, I did miss a call from you. I'm sorry, Mr. Ted. Are you there, Maestro? Yeah, Discord also doesn't pop up on my screen when anyone calls.
Hello? Yes.
So...
That's okay. I wouldn't worry about it.
It's rotating slightly too much, but I think that's just a sway bar thing.
Okay, yeah, sweet. Low speed, medium speed, high speed, on throttle off, what's it doing?
Low speed corners through the center tends to rotate too much.
Have you tried using the bottom of second instead of the top of first?
Yes.
Okay, does it work?
A little bit. I feel like I could lower the wheel rate.
Maybe, yeah, it could be. You could let it set down on the backs a tiny bit more. The question is it coming because the fronts are loaded too much or the backs are loaded too much, right?
Yeah.
Because if the fronts are loaded too much and the backs are underloaded, there's still wheel spin. Or if you shock the backs too much, you'll also get the wheel spin. So.
Well, I'm going to go out with significantly softer springs with a big bar set.
Just to see.
And I feel like that might fix a lot of my upsetty moments.
Yeah.
These tires are pretty cool. Like they're not super godly off the bat. Like you need to work some heat into them and some life into them, and then they start working really well. It's kind of fun.
Hard tires, yeah. Black race run tires is pretty normal.
Yeah, but you know how this game is. Sometimes it's not optimal.
No, for sure.
Sketchy on power, but it's just the nature of the car. Yeah, he's right about that. IndyCar's always been a driver's car to some extent. It takes unexpectedly long for the turbo to spool up. It's a good little car. And yep, I'm gaining 1 or 2 kph on the straightaway from lowering it even more. So that's good. Okay, the softer suspension is like fixing most of my exit issues.
The default Kunos F, or like the mid 2010s Ferrari F218 or whatever the hell it's called, does almost the exact same thing. It likes huge bars and almost no springs and pretty much being glued to the ground.
Okay.
I don't know why. It's just an AC downforce car thing. But again, it seems like real life open wheel teams do that anyway.
Yep.
So it has no turn in now.
Oh no, it's turning. I just kind of borked that braking point.
Yeah, you're making tons of time up on your delta through the middle out pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, this is pretty good. And it's just going to get faster through the run too, so we'll see how quick you can really get. Wow, yeah. Center off is just awesome.
Yeah, they really want us to point and square. Almost if you couldn't, I almost don't wonder if you couldn't get away with a little bit stiffer front spring.
That's what I was thinking to stabilize the aero platform.
Yeah, maybe like only like 1 or 2 clicks firmer front springs,
Yep.
or like
Fuck me.
Maybe just raise the rear ride height like a tiny bit, so the car's a little bit more nose down when the downforce is loaded on. Rake it a tiny check. If not that, maybe like I don't know what your dampers look like, but go down 1 click on the front bump damping.
It already went down a lot. Like it started at 11, I went down to 6 or 7 on the front.
You could probably still go lower.
Oh yeah.
Just to get the front to set in a little bit more. And it would help the turn in, and then it shouldn't hurt you too much out to adjust the front damping. I love front bump damping.
I think springs stabilize the front aero platform is definitely the next adjustment. Man, I'm flying here. Wow. And it's easier to drive than the default was, like significantly. Oh, Riley beat me.
That's not a fucking accomplishment. We keep finding that out with everything we've driven the last 2 or 3 months. I don't understand why nobody makes a good default setup. Not all the Kunos ones are junk. All the Paymod team ones are junk. I don't know. It just doesn't seem that hard to me. I don't know. I don't understand why you aren't using the Chad motorcycle chicane.
That's just what the group set it as.
Before the kink, that is truthfully the best layout. You should try slinging it through there 1 lap. I don't even know if it'll fit. For some reason, I thought the motorcycle chicane was like way wider than it is.
no.
But looking at it, it actually looks like it's tiny. I might have made a mistake and asked for the motorcycle chicane when I use this for my next SRS series, and I just want to know if I should unrequest that.
Okay, so we
thought it would
now have a problem. It unloads through that uphill left-hander under the Corvette sign. That's suboptimal.
Probably because it's too soft when it comes over the crest.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't... I don't know if it's reasonable that you can do anything about that, because pretty much all cars do that.
Okay, a little up on the height.
You can try making the rebound damping on all four corners just a little bit stiff so the car doesn't come up over the hump if you wanted to. But
here's
adjusting
the fucking I didn't do the left side.
Spring split. Yeah, that might explain that. Yeah, that'll probably do that. Had some reverse front spring split going on. Which is probably why the left front felt like it was off the ground.
Okay, that should be okay.
Mm-hmm.
This feels interesting. I think I'm bottoming out though. I'm just seeing sparks in the mirror.
Could be back flare too.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Forgot the car has this. Yeah, it seems time
no,
for the
it's back.
shifts.
I'm watching it. It's back flare.
Okay, good.
It is definitely gouging huge chunks out of the track whenever you dip it onto one of the exit curves, though, for sure. It's real low. Well, not accidentally having a side-to-side stagger seems to have fixed it pretty much right away.
Mm-hmm. That feels pretty good. Don't really need a lot of wheel inputs anymore either. Did you see the Dave Moody clip today? Yes, I did, and then I uploaded it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you put a mirror up on your channel, like,
yeah,
right away. Somebody just asked if you heard about iRacing purchasing Monster Games.
Oh yeah, that'll be really cool. That makes it sound like they're bringing a console game out.
Fingers crossed. They'll sell you the console game for a one-time fee of $15.95 a month, recurring every month.
Yes, but no, they'll put out an IndyCar game, they'll put out a stock car game, which will be really cool.
Yeah, because they've got like the NASCAR and IndyCar licenses. Hopefully they'll put out some actual decent console games. I'm still waiting for them to go the old GPL route and license something that has expired so that we get like a full historical season remake kind of style game.
They might do that with the 87 Cup cars, like NASCAR Legends 2.
I would goon for that. That'd be pretty cool. I would definitely jump to that. Good.
This is going to end up doing a 141. I gained like 3/10 after botching that one corner.
Probably.
Just keeps gaining speed. Holy shit.
Yep. It's that little bit of the firmer springs actually evened out, and that little bit of ride height in the back is keeping it from dragging now. And then the higher speed corners, it's a little bit more nose down, so the front wing angle of attack, I'm guessing you're making a little bit more front wing down first, or you just shifted the weight a little bit forward, either or. Yeah. It looks real good in the medium and high speed stuff. You still have not given me my moto chicane though.
Yeah, even with a bobble, very fast.
Yeah. Super fast. And we wouldn't want a bobble. Bobbleheads are outdated collectibles for old people. Okay, I just got to the bobble. That was a little bit more than a bobble. It's a full-blown wicked shred out of that corner.
The front springs stabilize the aero platform so well in the carousel.
Yeah, I noticed that on the last lap. I'm interested to see. I'm just a little bit behind because I'm watching the live feed.
And it's going to get quicker through the run here.
Oh, yeah, man, that's real good. You can physically see that the nose is down a little bit more, too. That's really good. Yeah, the high-speed aero balance in that is way better.
Didn't bobble this time, so that's good.
Somebody's saying they watched Jason Jacoby's video and laughed at the fact that he was upset about how bad Monster energy drinks were.
Yeah, so he thought, he made a video about iRacing buying Monster Games, but he thought Monster Games is Monster Energy. So the whole video was just really confusing. More so than they normally are.
To be fair, energy drinks are pretty horrible for you.
Oh yeah.
Don't get caffeine addicted. It's what made me fat. I drink way too many calories. I'm drinking caffeine all the fucking time. It's horrible for you.
Slowly chipping away. I'm pretty consistent here.
Yeah. Noticing that you're dragging the brakes maybe just a little bit deep a couple of corners. You can start the brake release earlier, probably at the right-hander at Canada, probably a little bit earlier at the left-hander at the bottom of the hill in the first sector.
That's a good spot. Yeah, you're right, because that might be upsetting the car too much.
It looks like when you're coming in, the left front tire is giving up, and if you're rolling a little bit more, it should hopefully handle the load just a tiny bit better.
Oh, what the fuck? It's okay.
I'm a little bit behind, so I don't know what the fuck was for, but I'm assuming I'm about to get it.
It almost feels like my inputs are being filtered through AC. Like there's a slight delay, but not really. And I got loose and spun the tires, and it didn't look like much.
Okay, I saw that.
But,
yeah, at the left-hander over the top of the hill. Yeah, you were just wide and hit the grass. That's all that happened.
Okay.
While on power. And again, braking, you're probably braking a bit too late there. So you want the nose tap before you come light over the top of the crest. You should be rolling and turning in right as you hit the top of the crest and the car's maximum unloading. You're like still braking and then also turning in, and the car is coming light, right? Yeah. So when you have that decompression at the top of the hill and the car comes light, it moves the forward to aft weight transfer rhythm sooner, because we can't get the nose down and corner at the top of the crest and also be coming light all at the same time. I just think it's a couple of tiny little small things like that. Perfect.
The setup, I think, is so close to being really good.
Yeah. Seems pretty nice. Turn 1 looked really good that lap. Turn 2 is really good. Good job with the earlier brake releases. They still need to be long, though. Yeah, the bottom of the hill at the left-hander that time was really good. Super good run out. And a little bit earlier brake tap before the left-hander over the hill. Perfect. Man, you got like a couple of hundreds through there. That's really nice. Yeah, the rear tires are so big. Just be careful not to overdrive the fronts. Right? These cars drive pretty much all off the rear tires, especially the way you got it set up with those really soft springs, which is going to be point and squirting, basically.
Oh, I ran out of fucking fuel. Oops.
Happens.
And like right before the corner too. It's really close. I think tire-wise I need to make some changes though. Probably like that.
Have you tried the good old AC? Have you tried the good old AC trick of just fucking yoking all the camber in it that you can get yet?
What?
Yeah. You didn't know that works in AC?
No.
Oh, yeah. Most cars like having their camber maxed out. For some reason, it breaks the tire model.
Peak iRacing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll save that as V5, because that's pretty good. Front wing. Wonder if that's worth fucking with.
It looks like it... I mean, really where the speed seems like it's being limited for you right now seems like traction zones out of low-speed corners. You're in between first and second gear. Your throttle shape is not working for first gear because you're getting wheel spin, and second gear bogs.
I'll try fucking with the bump and rebound on the rear end.
I would suggest that so you can drive the car through exits harder, coupled with maybe like one click more front wing. So get a little bit more turn and grip and rotation speed, and then that's going to make the car oversteer, so then also soften the rear for on throttle just a tiny bit more to bring it back in.
Alright, so that should be okay.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, but when I run downforce cars, I like that stupid-ass, like, max front wing, min rear wing setup, so...
That's an old R-Factor trick, too.
Yeah. I mean, I never drive anything with more than, like, 150 horsepower, so it's just a low downforce. It's just a low engine power downforce car thing.
Well, that fixed quarter exit.
Yeah.
Like, instantly.
I told you. With the extra exit speed, you can carry the mid-corner, too. With the wang. Sorry. Oh, I'm sneezing on your stream.
Maybe you got coke from me?
No, I don't think so. We haven't done that much kissing recently.
Okay. Okay, wing didn't change anything.
That was the most benign fucking reaction. Okay. So you almost did like a Chris Chan thing. Okay.
Oh god, you watch that shit too?
Oh, who doesn't? It's fucking hilarious.
Gino Samuel's doc got me through the development of the Fast and Furious game. I would do like a playthrough and have that on my second monitor.
This is, I think, one of the most spectrum disorder conversations I've ever had.
Yep.
Is a quality assurance dev and a driving coach whose job it is to nitpick things constantly, sitting here talking about listening to the Chris Chan documentary to help them get through some tedious work.
I didn't like the line I took in 1, but I'm up a 10th.
Okay, well, I know you say you can't feel the wing, but I think I could notice the wing helping. Like, your brake bleed phase, kind of like late turn in when you're just coming off the last bit of brake in most of these 90s, it looks like the front wants to cut more. Oh, yeah. And, oh my god, the drive out of the left-hander at the bottom of the hill. Holy shit.
Yeah, I really like that. I was just surprised, like, it didn't really cut in the high-speed stuff as much as I thought it would.
Could have been because of the damper change. Don't forget, when you change the dampers, the car puts force through the shock absorber before it sits on the springs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with you raising that rear ride height a little bit, you might have the car off of the spring cup enough that it's on the shock instead of the spring. I'm not sure if AC models have it. It could be what's going on. So the damper change, kind of like I was saying, overrode the wing.
Jesus Christ.
Right?
Bring out the backup car. Fuck me. That's very, very close, though.
Weirdest fucking accidents I have ever seen anybody have. I just got to it.
Yeah, I was like right on the wall and I clipped the grass and it was modeled in a very low poly way. There was like a hump there. This is promising though. Yeah, the drive out of the low speed stuff is like wild now. Almost wide open through the carousel, very close. I don't want to put too much front wing because it'll cause drag, right? But it seems pretty good.
I mean, the front wing. Again, stupid metagame AC thing. But on cars with splitters, it models the front splitter as a whole wing surface. So on a car with a front splitter, you need to worry about the drag of running too much splitter. But on a car with a small wing, because the area is smaller, it doesn't seem like it generates enough drag, really.
Thanks,
You
AC.
can kind of... Yeah. I know I'm always a bit behind, but it doesn't look so bad for the outlapping first flyer right now.
Yeah, and then it'll just get quicker over the run, too.
Don't forget, you can you have a seamless shift sequential gearbox. You can use the lower gear entering and the higher gear exiting, like dummy traction, right?
That's true.
You lose nothing by doing that, because I'm noticing you're between using the second and the first gear for the left-hander at the bottom of the hill, and it looks to me like it wants to turn in first, and it wants to drive out in second. And you lose no time by just hitting the next gear quick, so that's definitely an option.
The only problem is the turbo, right? You lose momentum.
Not necessarily. Like, sure, you might, but what I've noticed so far is every lap that you were in second gear, you made up like 4 or 5 hundredths of a second on your delta on the exit of the left-hander at the bottom of the hill. So you might as well be in first going in and second coming out, because then the turbo's spooled in first. You have more engine braking and turning in first, and then when you're in second, it's still pulling out anyway on the throttle out, right? Like,
I got you.
Like, it's a
I tried it.
Yeah. I'm probably behind, but it looks like you haven't done it too. Yeah, the delta doesn't lie, man. It was good. I don't know. Maybe I'm a nut job. But like, I know you're talking about like the turbo. Don't forget how tiny the turbos on these modern twin turbo V6 cars are.
That's
right. Like, if you are in the yellow or red shift lights, the turbo is spooled. You're at max torque, and torque is acceleration, right? So, like really anywhere in that last 100, anywhere in that last 500 to 1500 RPM, I'm pretty sure you have enough power to spin the tires, which means you have too much power, right? Is the car a VRC car he's driving right now?
Yes.
Yeah, he's driving the VRC Formula Americas.
It says on the wheel.
And don't forget, too, for the cars where it might feel like the front of the car isn't complying as you're accelerating out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're kind of in the top of one gear, you want to be at the bottom of the next gear up, because then the differential can spin a higher rotation speed. Because don't forget, the pinion gear is reducing the speed of the rear wheels, so if you're up one gear higher, the rear wheels literally spin faster. So for those high-speed corners, it's better to be up one gear, because you can literally drive the car out of the corner more on the throttle. Generally. As long as it's not like stupidly too high. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I don't know, the first in and second out look kind of good to me. I'm not sure. Maybe the back kicks too much with the first gear change. Maybe the second all the way through is better. I'm not sure. Looks annoying. Somebody asked you if you tried the 2020 IndyCar mod for R Factor 2.
I hardly play R Factor 2.
Yeah. Both of us have R Factor 2 and Race Room installed and pretty much hardly ever play them.
Yeah.
Kind of like the best sims that both of us will admit we don't really play. They're good. I personally can't get R Factor 2 to run in my headset for more than like 30 minutes at a time without overheating my PC or bricking my VR or having some kind of major glitch, and the optimization is horrible, and it doesn't look good, and it drives actually pretty okay, but shame about everything else. Hey man, listen, I wouldn't be making crybaby mocking things in the chat. You asked us for an opinion, and we gave you an opinion. If you didn't want an opinion, you didn't have to ask the question. I'm not gonna lie. Driven the Formula Pro and the stupid 1,000 horsepower electric car on R Factor 2. They're both fun. I prefer Assetto Corsa. I actually think the Formula E cars, at the small circuits for them, are actually
No, he's talking about the fantasy one they made. So they made like a fantasy supercar.
Oh, they made some... Oh, I actually think just like the Formula E cars are fun. They're just like little carts. AC Scca Camaro again with another comment. AC is way less realistic. False, they just model things differently. They're all about equivalently unrealistic. They just break things differently.
Riley's like 1-2 switch to race session.
I thought the whole point it was like just like a fun practice thing.
I'm still running shakedown, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I try Urset?
Every time I go from R Factor 2 to AC, I beat my best lap times.
Okay.
Easily, he says. Well, yeah, because different simulators, this is kind of weird, but not all of them model the racetracks the same way or the cars the same way, and the lap times all end up kind of like skewed between different simulation softwares.
I have an idea. Wing seems not stupid.
Does AC even simulate oil or water temperatures or brake temperature, etc.? Yeah, it's got kind of like a primitive brake temperature modeling thing. It's nowhere near as sophisticated as some of the sims that really like to get into it. I don't really think it does mechanical failures. I don't think there are a ton of sims that do mechanical failures other than really some of the old ones. Because in the modern, like the air quotes, like more esports oriented modern sims like iRacing, they don't want people whining because their oil and water overtemp and the car randomly exploded. You can't really screw with grill tape in AC, but I know you can do it in iRacing. I know you can screw with like grill tape and radiator openings and R Factor 2. I don't know if you could do it in Race Room or not, Austin. If you had any experience with cars, you can do that.
Race Room, it sounds like you can. I seem like to remember you can. Maybe not though. P-cars you can, MS you can.
I think there's brake ducting in a lot of sims, but not all of them have like a super sophisticated thing. Somebody pointed out the Virgin AC versus R Factor 2 versus the Chad still playing GTR 2. A lot of those old GTR games actually model thermals pretty well. They're pretty primitive and one-dimensional, but they still do their best to try to model the thermals and stuff like that. R Factor 2 is much more realistic to the point where when you have been using R Factor 2 for a long time and you go to Assetto Corsa, you realize how unrealistic AC is. Yeah, AC has unrealistically forgiving tires. A little bit in the same way that iRacing has unrealistically punishing tires a little bit. I think R Factor 2 and ACC both handle on the grip limit better than most of the other simulators on the market right now. But a simulation software is a whole package. Hey, on the grip limit, this is a little bit more or a little bit less punishing doesn't inherently make something more or less realistic than something else because of all the different pieces of the software and the modeling that have to work together in conjunction. I think just saying, hey, one is flat out more realistic than the other because it's harder or easier is kind of a one-dimensional way of looking at it. It was pretty clear that you were talking about AC instead of ACC. I'm aware of that. I still think it's just not taking into account a lot of other factors. Other than just herder, this is hard, therefore it's realistic. That's not how that works.
So I think I found something. Downforce. Seems to like
Yeah,
that.
you need a lot more.
Yeah.
It's much easier to get fast lap times in AC than R Factor 2. I can't believe it isn't obvious. It's a more realistic way of looking at it. No, it's not. It's a really one-dimensional way of looking at it. Because there's still stuff you can do in R Factor 2 that totally breaks the car and makes it unrealistic to drive, just like there is in iRacing, just like there is in Assetto Corsa, just like there is in...
Isn't R Factor 2, it's like minimum pressures, minimum...
Yeah, at minimum pressures. So R Factor 2's problem is that the tire model only cares about small windows of tire temperature, and it really, really punishes having too much pressure in the tire. So keeping the temperature in an okay range, ideally lower, and at very low pressure is the thing to do in R Factor 2. Just because the lap times don't correlate, or one lap time is faster than another lap time or something like that, again, doesn't make one simulator more realistic than another, because your lap times in a vacuum don't take into account what kind of setup you're using, how each simulator models the condition of the circuit, how many other cars on track, how it models rubber, how it which point cloud data was used to make the track, if it's a laser scan. Right? I don't just think saying, hey, one has a slower lap time, one has a faster lap time is a well-encompassed way of looking at what makes a simulation software realistic or unrealistic.
Trying a different aero config here.
Yeah, just threw some extra on. I mean, you can keep saying that you think Assetto Corsa is much less realistic than R Factor 2 as much as you want. It's not entirely correct, and it's not entirely incorrect. So saying it... James says he's liking this audience question and answer edition of Sim Racing Rejects. Thanks, James. Mr. Catholic Kavanaugh, I don't really think that I'm being cultish. I think I'm just trying to say that you're making a very firm statement that's a lot more subjective than you give it credit for. I think all the commercially available simulation softwares on the market have pros and cons. And if you want the most realistic simulator, you should buy the pro version of it, custom model the exact car and track and parameters you want to, and focus on only making one of those parameters perfect at a time. The same way they do in wind tunnel testing, or the same way they do in modeling the design of an aircraft. The more things you add, the more complicated things start to get, the more things can potentially break. You know, it's just saying, slapping a label, this is the most realistic, or this is less realistic, I just think is a very one-sided way of looking at things. How do I pin a comment? Can I pin a comment as a moderator?
I don't know.
Somebody just did the burst into the room, does ABCD thing, refuses to elaborate, then leaves meme template, but about the guy saying how unrealistic AC is compared to R Factor 2. I thought it was funny. Delinquent Trail, if I cared so much about realism, I would have quit sim racing years ago. Yeah, based.
Based.
As a matter of fact, You should quit sim racing. It's an abusive hobby. It's like being an alcoholic. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. Stop sim racing. But the best thing that happened to my life recently is me sim racing less, and I'm not even kidding. I graduated flight school finally. I got a job offer. You know, I proposed to my girlfriend. Like, started losing some weight and all that kind of stuff. You know, stop sim racing. Go do something more important with your life. I know I co-host a sim racing podcast, which makes it seem like it disqualifies that statement, but if anything, it actually supports it. Get out while you can, and you're here forever. I want you to have a good life.
And donate to charity water.
Oh, fuck off. Can we? That's another thing, guys. Can we stop talking about Jason Jacoby?
Ask
please?
nuanced
Like,
questions about Jacoby, not just like you should invite him to a race and wreck him.
Yeah, stop. Like stop being like, oh, you know, get in a room with him and wreck him. I understand that he's done some shitty things, but it's because the guy is clearly mentally ill. He belongs in a psych ward. Do not bully him. Do not engage with him. Do not go and leave nasty comments on his YouTube channel. Don't say he should kill himself. Don't threaten him. Like some of the stuff I'm seeing people say, not necessarily in this chat, but like in the comments on his videos. Guys, the guy needs help or locked up, right? So don't make anything worse. Don't get involved, and don't give him any ammunition with which to defend himself or to get yourself in trouble, right? Leave him alone to self-destruct, okay?
Yeah, because there are a lot of kids who like, well, I should make my own documentaries on him, and it's like, you don't realize what's going to happen if he comes after you too.
Yeah, and if you keep screwing around with him, the man genuinely has psychopathy. He's going to track you down. He's going to call where you work. He's gonna threaten you, guys. Don't
like look what happened to me, and that's when I was like, I had all my ducks in a row. So like, there's like a lot of kids who are like 15 to 18 or like, I'm gonna call him under, or I'm gonna text his phone number. It's like, don't, because if he finds out who you are, like it's ogre, you know.
Yeah, and Robert Stone, I've seen people spend way more money in sim racing than it actually costs to start racing IRL. Exactly, correct. Don't sim race. Go get your real racing license instead.
They say reduce the tow so it's not as responsive, so I don't mind trying that. Yeah, like I've had to have that conversation with a couple people now. Because they're like, oh, I want to make documentaries, and oh, we should get this other guy involved because he's a good podcast host. And it's like, okay, but like, if he comes after you too, like, you might get kicked out of uni. You might get fired from your job. And you've seen how hard it is for me to deal with that, because it's not very cut and dry. Where it's just like, oh, go to the cops and it's taken care of in a day. It's like, no, this is a year-long thing now. Yeah. So like, do you want that to happen to you?
The police aren't going to do anything about Jacoby as long as he isn't basically directly hurting anybody until his court date. Yeah. So don't talk to him. Don't engage with him. Let the current legal system battle that he's in settle itself out, and don't give him an excuse to go after you, because he's going to call where you work for and accuse you of being a kitty diddler or say that you said a bunch of racial slurs on the internet.
And not every HR is going to side with you, like they found out with me.
Yeah, because don't forget, the companies that you work for, guys, their human resources departments exist to protect the company from you, not the other way around. So they'll listen to some crazy who calls in a hit on you, even if it's a lie, more so than they'll actually listen to you.
And yes, it opens them up to a nice defamation suit or a wrongful termination suit against your employer, but like, again, like, if you're 18, this is not something you want to go through with.
I mean, hell, even if you're in your mid-20s, with COVID restrictions finally starting to end, you might have a new job, or things might just start finally getting good for you. Don't start getting involved with paranoid schizophrenics on the internet.
He's not Chris Chan, where he's harmless, you know, and that kind of thing. This guy seems to be a lot more vindictive, which is a really dangerous combination. Chris Chan was just funny. Chris Chan would just make stupid videos in his room. This guy seems to be like hell-bent on like harassing people.
Yeah, he's going after people. He's calling talk shows. he's fucking around. Somebody in the chat just mentioned Black Flags Matter. He's going after the guy who runs Black Flags Matter. He's gone after Austin. I'm surprised with me and Austin co-hosting the new podcast that he hasn't gone after me yet. I guess my channel is too small for him to care.
He just doesn't know who you are.
Thank fuck. Just don't. I mean, don't.
I get people are interested.
Yeah, but watch from afar. Do like the normal thing with a lol cow and just like watch them have a shitty time and hate life and do a bunch of crazy stuff and observe it. Watch the glorious dumpster fire that it is, but don't engage with the guy.
Yeah, because he seems to be taking names at this point, and like there's people that don't even remember him on iRacing that he's going after, which is like scary.
Yeah. You did the first to second thing at the bottom of the hill through the left-hander, and it worked. I told you.
I've been fucking with downforce and all that. That seems to be... That's another thing with open wheel cars, it turns into that little game. Where can I sign up for the IndyCar series? It's a one-off race. It's a private Discord race. Slots are already filled, sadly.
But if you want to always be able to race with either Austin or me, you can come to my Friday Sim Racing System series at 2 p.m. Central Time, starting... This Friday is the last round of our Honda K-Truck Little Micro Delivery Truck series, and starting Friday the 14th is a Lotus 72 Fixed Setup Racing series. So if you want to come to that, I host that. Or come race with the JG1 Flight Sim Squadron on Monday nights, 8 p.m. U.S. Central. Either way, I'm in both. And actually, next season, Austin will be in both, too. We're doing V8 Supercar for that Monday Night League and Lotus 72 for the Friday. Monday is U.S. time. Friday is a time slot that works better for EU, so there should be something that everybody can get to in there.
What's your favorite Chris Chan saga?
I really don't. I honestly don't know much about them other than when a couple of people who I like watching Let's Plays from just kind of very vaguely mention them. Like I think
the Miyamoto saga is awesome.
I think Oni from Newgrounds jokes about him a lot, but now they pretty much don't talk about him now that he kind of actually hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Robert Smith sounds like fun, but says it sounds like fun, but I'm slow. Robert, just so you know, the Monday Night JG1 Racing League has BMW car control course instructor Walther Phillips as one of the regular members, and me with my Motorsport Safety Foundation racing instructor certification. And my league, Roundel Racing, which hosted series on SRS, is all about being a beginner-friendly league. There are guides to basic race driving on my YouTube channel. There's real-life onboards. I do car and track driving guide combinations to help reduce your practice time for every race weekend. Doesn't matter if you're slow, you'll get fast pretty quickly, or you'll find another slow person to race with. We are super, super welcoming to beginners. That's the whole point of all the stuff that I host. Being slow is not an excuse.
It seems to be like an okay setup with the downforce in. And it loses some here.
It helps in those transitional bits that are like in between second or third gear corner and stuff like that a lot. I think what you're making up off the corner and through some of the higher speed stuff is worth the lack of straight line speed, and it'll hopefully help you chew that right front a little bit less.
But like here on the main straight, it evens out eventually, which is just frustrating.
Yeah, but what would you rather have? Because if you're in a position where you have to overtake somebody, having the extra downforce on to stay close to them while in the wake, and then just pulling on them because of the tow might work. I would prefer to have the extra controllability of the extra downforce. That's normally just kind of my thing.
Up front wing, lower rear wing. It needs more rotation.
That's what... Yeah, I would say maybe 1 up, 1 down. Or 2 up, 1 down.
Let's see if this works. This might be a bit dangerous. Once I beat Riley, I'll move on to V8 Supercars. This seems interesting and very scary at the same time.
Yeah, it's gonna be... If you want that front aero balance, you have to give up rear aero balance, right? Mm-hmm. It's just the thing.
This part of open wheel cars fucking with the downforce, because like their SSF seems fine. That was just me overdriving like a retard. Oh, this is
Alexander says he listened to the podcast today. What are our thoughts on the paint scheme DLC on NASCAR heat and ignition?
Massive ripoff. Don't buy it.
Yeah, seems like they should just allow skinning.
Well, they do in game. That's the funny part. But it's just like related to the player car, right?
I'm sorry for any annoying noise, chat. I am chewing an ice cube. It is very nice.
Okay, already this aero balance seems promising. Turns. And it'll eat crazy amounts of time in Sector 3. Or it should, at least.
Okay, loaded question. Your guys' personal best racetracks ever and worst racetracks ever. Ovals don't count. And then another question. Been having a big snap loose on exit with the VRC 282 cars. Any suggestions? Yeah, throttle control would be 1 gear higher. I'm not even kidding. So the Trans Am 2 car is basically a road course super late model. Lock the diff up all the way. Use just your big toe on the throttle pedal, man. You're gonna have to have throttle control to drive those cars. I see everybody complaining about how hard that car is to drive off the corner. I've worked corners at Brainerd the last 4 or 5 years in a row watching those cars punch out of the second gear left-hander at turn 12 at that quarter station. They slide out of those corners on the throttle. You have to have the throttle control to drive them. Feed the throttle in starting sooner, but happening for longer. Make sure you're unwinding on the steering wheel as you come through the exit. Try maybe going 1 or 2 clicks down on the rear bump damping. Try an extra click of wing if it's a medium speed corner. Maybe 1 click softer rear wings, or mod something in the driver department. Kind of your main options there. To answer the loaded question, about best racetracks ever and worst racetracks ever. Controversially, I think most of the F1 tracks currently on the calendar are better in their original layout than their modern layout. I like old Hockenheim from the 2000s and the chicanes. I like old Spa. I think new Spa is trash, even though most people like it. I absolutely hate it. It's a bastardized short track version of its former self. It sucks. I really love COTA in the U.S. I think it's one of the best racetracks to ever be built in the U.S., even though a ton of people hate it. I don't like modern Laguna Seca at all. I think it sucks. I like the original layout with the quick turn 1 that bypasses the current hairpin and just meets up where the current turn 4 or 5 is. A lot better. What else? I really, really like public road tracks like Brem Garden and Targa Florio. I think that's fantastic. I actually really like the new Saudi street circuit for F1, but only for hot lapping, not for racing. It's almost impossible to race on. Yeah, Laguna Seca kind of sucks. Mid-Ohio's okay, but in my opinion, it's really not that good. Actually, what Austin's on right now, I don't like Road America. I especially don't like Road America in real life at all. I think it's kind of doo-doo. It's mostly 90-degree corners, and there's nowhere near enough runoff. What else? Oh, Mosport CTMP kind of sucks. I'm not a huge fan of it. At least not in modern cars. In vintage stuff, it works fine. But what about Long Beach? Yeah, Long Beach also a bit overrated. I prefer the Toronto street circuit. Or stuff like St. Pete. Belle Isle is really good. Long Beach, not that good. The original full long layout of Long Beach, pretty good. The modern one, the shortest one, not very good at all. Again, 90 sweeper into the fountain, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, big 180, hairpin. I know that's oversimplifying it. I don't think it's that good.
Worst track, Chang. There's the one
Chang
that's on
in China.
SRS all the time that's just awful.
Yeah, and everybody keeps telling me that I should check it out too. We actually got some comments specifically about it in our last podcast episode. And I drove it. And I'm like, wow, this fucking sucks. Oh yeah, Monza. Monza, probably the worst modern professional racetrack. Unironically,
Yep.
Monza sucks. Monza. They ruined Monza when they changed the Lesmos and they went away from the double Variante Alta first chicane to the current first chicane. They fucking ruined that track. It sucks. I still think it kind of sucked before. What about VIR? VIR's good. Really love VIR. When I did Legends Road Course Nationals there in 2012 was the last time I... no, not 2012. 11, 12. I think it's 13 or 14. Wow, I haven't been to VIR in like 7 years. Holy shit. Paul, yeah, you hate Paul Ricard. That's one everybody hates. I think Paul Ricard's good as long as you use the proper first turn in the chicane on the back straight. It's actually pretty good. But the slower first turn, the slower first chicane is not good. The higher speed one is. Trying to think. I really like Anderstorp in Sweden. I think that's an awesome track. Highly underrated. How's the final sector at VIR? Final sector's good. I prefer the grand layout that doesn't have the back straight, but over the top of the crest, down through the hog pen, I think is a fucking awesome corner complex. It's very scary in real life, though. It's very, very scary. Circuit de la Sarthe at Le Mans, kind of overrated. I think it's pretty boring. I have almost no fun driving it. I also hate the Daytona Roval. I think there's much better road course ovals in the U.S. The Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park Road Course Oval and the Homestead Miami Road Course Oval are probably two of the better ones. The New Jersey Motorsports Park Oval is actually super fucking good, too. Not New Jersey Motorsports Park, excuse me, New Hampshire Motor Speedway one. It actually goes outside the track. Very interesting layout. James, if you slander the name of Ozarks International Raceway one more time, I swear I will drop the power of God upon you.
Psalm 109.
Psalm 109. God blesses those who bless me and curses those who curse me. Christ has died. Christ has risen. Christ will come again.
Thank you, Ted.
You're welcome. what else? I really do genuinely like some of the shorter, simpler club tracks in the U.S. that most people say are shitty. Like, I like the La Junta Raceway airfield track in Colorado. Phoenix International. I'm not a huge fan of Phoenix International. I kind of like the middle portion of Sector 1 with the only actual corners on the circuit, but they're awkwardly shaped. First chicane isn't super good. Last long right-hander isn't very good. Limerock, yeah, not a huge fan of Limerock. It's just a little bit too overly simplistic. The elevation changes are good. I actually really like the second chicane at Limerock. It's the okay chicane. Sochi Autodrome, kind of simple and flat. Not a huge fan of it. See, the problem I have with some of the F1 stuff is if you're gonna have like a short track with no elevation, it needs to. If you're going to have like a simple track with no elevation change and mostly kind of single shape corners like 90s and 180s, it needs to be short enough and busy enough that you don't get bored. Kind of like a kart track, because most kart tracks are totally flat, but they're not boring because they keep the driver working the whole time. Sochi is too long for how simple it is. I think if it was like half the length, it would actually be like a pretty fun, quick little flick, which I think is why people like stuff like Long Beach.
Oh, this was still the borked bump setup.
Yeah, Robert says short tracks are lots of fun. A lot of bang for your buck, and they're easier to learn in my experience. Yeah, I like stuff like Gingerman, Putnam Park, Black Hawk Farms, Brainerd International in the U.S., La Junta Raceway. The short layouts at Autobahn Country Club, just kind of shorter, simple stuff for club racing, I think is actually kind of underrated. Even though most people are like, oh, this is bland, this is boring. I think they're fun.
Worst track, definitely Chang. Favorite track, Road Atlanta. In terms of street circuits, Belle Isle's up there. I like the modern layout of Long Beach because I'm a horrible person.
I actually think modern Road Atlanta sucks too. Thank you for reminding me of that. I fucking hate Road Atlanta.
Alright.
No, that's okay. I can see why you stopped sim racing, Ted, because you seem to hate 80% of all the tracks sim racers want to race on all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, it could just be because I see them for work and I coach in them so often, but not a huge fan of a lot of them. Oh my god, it's Spa, it's Road Atlanta, it's Road America. Ooh. Okay, yeah, sure, fine. Okay, I get it. I get it. You also order your hamburger with the pickles and the onions taken off and only ketchup as a topping and no cheese because you're lactose intolerant. I get it. Thanks. Moving on, please.
Plain cheeseburger master race. I just get cheese on it.
God, I fucking hate you.
Yep. Well, they call it a cheeseburger. Why should there be pickles or ketchup on it?
I don't think that I care for you very much right now.
Why don't they call it a deluxe burger? Like the Big Mac, I understand. Okay, yeah, my old gen set with the bump and downforce fixes. Oh, I didn't touch the fucking grass. I saved it though. Didn't junk the car. Yeah, this will be a few tenths quicker. Then I can switch to Adelaide.
Yay. I really just like Somebody said, yeah, you got annoyed with all the popular racetracks because of Forza Motorsport and Project Cars. Yeah, I sympathize with that. I just really like kind of like me and Austin were talking about DLC DLCs on the last podcast. I like the stuff that nobody has. I like the kind of more unique, hey, this is a local level club track that nobody has. I like all the weird Brazilian stuff in AMS2. I like all the obscure pre-war Grand Prix circuits and like 60s F1 public road tracks that don't get used anymore. I like things of a different flavor, right?
Dunderod's a really good one in terms of public F1.
Oh,
it's technically not an F1 track. It's like
Tasman series, which is like a Yeah, Dunderod is pretty fucking good. But like, I like all the crazy Australian club circuits. I like the Brazilian ones. I like the fact that US club circuits have their own feel. I like the club racing circuits in the UK, like stuff like Oulton Park and Knock Hill and things like that, because they've got their own unique flavor. I like some of the less heard of French tracks. Like I really like Albi and Circuit de l'Étoile and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know.
So Aero mixed with an earlier loadout I had was really quick.
Probably with the
3/10 on Riley here.
Springs.
I mean, we'll have to drive it for, I think the whole race is going to be 55 laps. We can run the reds too if we want, but so far it's just really good. Almost flat out through the hairpin. I can't believe we've got 16 concurrent viewers. Thanks for coming out, guys. Let's put in a good lap. I want to get out of here and run the V8 Supercars. The increased downforce, I can send it through one.
Well, a lot of the people in the chat are also making interesting comments about those club circuits are not only good and fun because they're obscure, but because they actually really match with like slower cars, which is definitely true. Really like some of those stuff. Alright guys, my lady friend is bitching at me because I'm keeping her up because she can hear me through the vents all the way upstairs in our bedroom above my studio. So, I've got to go now. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed listening to us talk about how to set up the car a little bit and our taste in tracks and
goodbye, Mr.
what have you. Bye-bye. Good night, everybody. I will catch you later. Don't forget my YouTube channel is like 1/5 the size of Austin's, so all the support I can get would be helpful. I really appreciate the outpouring of support so far since we started co-hosting the podcast together, but I'm still lagging behind a little bit. Every subscription and like and comment helps. Austin's stuff is a bit more critical. Mine is a little bit more coaching and learning oriented, and I'm kind of a bored guy. So if you don't want to watch me, I understand. I don't want to listen to myself either. I'm going to catch y'all later. Bye-bye.
And he's going to sign off just as we set a PB. Look at this. 10th and a half up. Come on. No, it's not going to be this lap. It's going to be next lap. I'm an idiot and blew the braking point. But definitely going to put down a good time here. Riley ran a high 9. Send. Oh, cut track. Fuck me. Too much send. The car is going to get faster, though. It seems to only get faster over the course of a run. We are picking up so much time after the carousel, so that's promising. Clip the curb, unloaded. It's okay, we still got some fuel left. Come on, let me get out of here. I'm tired of Road America. Corner. Tough car to get right lap after lap. Like, you have grip, but you don't. Huge run out of the carousel, look at that. Will I save it? No. Just gotta get this last corner right. And I won't. Actually, that was perfect. Why am I not gating? What is happening? I was gaining. Not enough, though. Oh, fuck me. Oh, wow, that saved it. Cool. You seem very floaty, yes. AC kind of drives that way in some respects, though, like any car. It's also a bit of the head camera, too. Here we go, this is promising. It's a really good lap, which I'll throw away. You'll see. No, it bit. There we go. There we go. Good, we can get out of here. It's going to be a 141.8. 141.9 flat. Oh, that's fine. Right on par with Riley. Good. What did Riley run? Basically on par with us, so that's good. 141.901 day 1. So we can delete all those after. Anyway, let us go to a new track. And yet, PB inbound. That was a good lap. Do you guys want a new slide for the time being? Sure, let's do that. So obviously we are back to the The Borked screen. You two are the best odd couple since Oscar and Felix. I don't know who Oscar and Felix are, but okay. Okay, let me know if that shows up or it works. Let's check. Hey, look at that, it does. Let's go back to practice. Single, hot lap. Sorry, you can't see anything right now. HD street tracks. Don't have Adelaide? I don't have Adelaide. I have to go get Adelaide. I'm a fucking idiot. Are you... How do I not have Adelaide? Well, just thought I'd ask, but how much do you know about drifting, and could you offer any advice on how to get good at it? No, sadly I do not drift at all. Adelaide Race Department Assetto, probably this one, by Tevi and Rainmaker. Yeah, that looks about right. Let's go download that. Save. Hope you can't see any of this right now. Content tracks. Get that in there. I don't know why I deleted Adelaide. That's so weird. Let's see. Folder. Tracks. That's weird I deleted it, because Adelaide's it's a pretty good version of Adelaide in this game. Even though it's a conversion from an old R-Factor mod. Alright, so it should be in game now. Get out of the RAR file. Adelaide 2011. Yep, shows up in the game. Content. Let's change the name of it so it looks kind of pretty and not lame in the menus. Adelaide. I think it's HQ City. Save. Drive. I do have all my tracks and shit categorized. Yeah, it shows up. Put a lot of time into... What's the word I'm looking for? I put a lot of time into organizing my AC stall and making custom categories and doing fun shit like that, because otherwise there's just so much crap to wade through. But do you drive Holden or Ford? I drive a Holden. Okay, so loading into the game now. Hopefully this works. We're going to be in hot lap mode again. So this is practicing for the JG1, again a private V8 Supercars League. We'll have like 15-20 people. I don't know how open they are to new people, so that's why I don't put the info right away. Anyway, there is our car. Don't fly into the map. Sure. I wish AC had something classier, like a screen like this, as opposed to the default. Final gear, probably 260. I guess we have choices of tires, cool. Well, we'll do Camber Extravaganza right off the bat. This doesn't look terrible, actually. This default set is not bad. You know what? We'll run that. Don't really know what we should be using as a dash cam here. This seems okay. I forgot how far back you sit in these things. Fuck me. Let's do Caber Extravaganza quick. Get that out of the way. Steering is really light. Oh. Okay. So this is the V8 Corsa mod. Guess I need to brake for that a lot more. Guess who's very used to driving an Indy car? Let's try it again. I need good readings for these fucking cambers, and I forgot how to drive, I guess. .5 and 1.4, okay. That's weird, it wants more camber in the back. Never seen that before. This is a really bad version of Adelaide, compared to what we have in AMS2 now. Leaning on 1.6 and 1.4 as the camber. Wow, this car like doesn't turn. This is really weird. Anyway, it just seems like it's over cambered a shitload, which is common in this game. Let's save that as base. Let's restart the session and get all this crap off the screen. Onboard settings don't need. Camber extravaganza don't need. Where are you? There you are. Let's put this somewhere relevant, like down here. And let's actually try a proper lap now. Oh my god, it like doesn't turn on cold tires. Okay. V8 Supercar, yes. Wow, this track just did not age well. I thought it would be a lot better, because I believe I have this as an add-on, or it's DLC in the first AMS. Or it just looked better in our factor, you know? One of those deals. So it takes a lap to get the tires up to 10. Good to know. I'm pretty sure they can take that kink flat out, but this is not very good so far. Tires actually have heat in them, but I'm worried. Can someone look up the pole time from Adelaide this year? Or just like, you know what, not even pole time, but just like race pace? Like, what did they run during the race? I just want to see something. Because this does not feel right at all. If I don't brake for that, I'm going to knock down the wall. High 18 in qualifying, hey? High 19? Okay. So we ran a 128. I'll try and push for a 19. Can't take the kink flat, stab the brakes, and it'll be fine. Well, the problem is we're literally 12 seconds slower than the real car. Like, something is seriously wrong with this mod. Like, if they're running high 19s in, like, Q or race trim, I'm gonna say like 121 is race pace, just to be really safe. And I'm running 10 seconds off pace. I don't think that's right. Something is definitely wrong. No. Okay, so again, according to the chat, high 18 would be qualifying, or high 19, 120 in race. We're doing 128s. That's not right. But that is on the softs, so we're going to try the super softs. So we'll just restart the session here. This is the V8 Corsa mod. That's apparently the de facto V8 Supercar mod for AC. This is not promising. Like, this is really bad. Okay, so we're on super soft, so this is qualifying tires. I believe, anyway. Like, it doesn't turn. Maybe this will be a bit better. I think it's pretty cool I do burnouts off the corner in second gear. But something about this is not right. Like, it feels so slow, the tires have no grip. Down to a 126. I have no words other than this mod is terrible. It's like I'm driving in slow motion. Like 5 seconds off the real car at a 90-second track, which is just like brutal. Like, it shouldn't have been released, it's that bad. And, like, this is the risk with AC too. Like, sometimes you get cars that are really good, like the VRC car we spent most of the night driving. This is just awful. And, like, it's supposed to be the de facto V8 Supercar mod. Like, this is what everyone goes for. This is just awful. Like, they had to have put this out and been like, okay, let's just try a track. Any track, and let's compare it to the real-world lap times. And seeing that, like, okay, something is fucked here. Like, it's 4 seconds slower, but no, it's apparently been out for, like, years. And there's, like, tons of skins for it. Like, is everyone just afraid to say anything about it? Like, is that what's going on here? Like, do you remember on, like, Virtual R back in the day? There used to be, like, real-life comparison videos that people would do of, like, here's the same car from R Factor in the real life, and they'd, like, match up the clips, and it would be almost 1-to-1. Like, did people stop doing that? Because this is just crap. Even the brakes are like, really doesn't like getting on the brakes, like, at all. Like, it's like driving in sludge. One more lap. Let's see how quick we can go. I like to think I'm pretty good at Adelaide. Always liked racing here. No one really drives it, I don't think. Yeah, I'm under that impression too. Is it just like a way for a guy to just like paint cars and have fun with like the skidding side of it? This is just unbelievably bad. Like, I hate to sound like a whiner, but like my truck has more grip than this. So we went from like the best of AC, which is the VRC Formula NA at Little Sky's Road America, to whatever the fuck this is. A 124, 4.5 seconds off race pace. In what's essentially qualifying trim. I don't even know what to say. Let's look at the last lap from trackside cam. Turn side kick off. God, this is AC at its worst. Like, outdated tracks just do not look good in this game. Maybe that's why I deleted Adelaide. Did you check the updates on the car? 3.9 is latest. Yeah, I re-downloaded everything tonight, because again, I'm supposed to be in a league for this car. So, like, tonight was like, okay, let's build a baseline set and, like, familiarize ourselves. And it's just junk. I mean, like, my buddies are huge V8 Supercars fans, so I've watched a bunch of these races, because they had this V8 Superview for a few years. Not just the hi-hi guys, but like Chris and Sal, who used to run iRacing with me. So I've watched a bunch of Adelaide races, and they fly around this joint. It's crazy. And like here, I'm like tiptoeing around the whole place. And I can yaw the car out and it feels fine. It's not like iRacing in that regard, but like, I literally have wheel spin until like 3rd gear. The model is beautiful, like, and the fact that they have legacy car models from like this era of supercars is really cool. And like the amount of skins is like, I would give it 5 stars on the skin selection alone, because I'm definitely a skin autist, but like, this is... Hey. That was depressing. So... let's change things up a bit. I don't want to end it on that note. So for those who are still stuck around, this is what's next. Categories. Scca Camaro Ta2. Let's go fuck around at Miami for a bit. If any of you guys ever seen this track before? Where should we run? The short layout? No, let's do the long layout. The long layout's fun. Gonna be to 202 here. Okay. The modders were skinners, so adds up. I'm in New Zealand, so I know these cars too. This one is so far off the mark physics-wise. Yeah, and that's really disappointing, because V8 supercars in real life are unbelievable. Spectacular pieces of machinery. It's like NASCAR, just with tons more grip. So this is the new VRC pack that came out, 2 weeks ago. Have built a setup for it. And yes, this is Shift 2 Miami. This is a fun little joint to blast around. And I fucked up already. There's a bug with this car where if you just camber, it borks the setup. So anyway, I think 282 is what I ran. Can run hards or rain tires, which is fine. Fuel, we'll just leave it 20. Never adjusted the wing. Never adjusted camber. This car I actually thought was pretty good right off the bat. Hide wiper, yes. Again, pretty good VRC car. At least I believe it's VRC. Yeah, it's VRC. I have fun driving this thing. Let's shift the viewpoint a bit. This was well worth a couple bucks I spent on it. And yes, this is the shift to Miami, but I think it's a fun place to run at. Lap will not count, of course. Let's try that again here. I did fuck up, and seems I forgot to change my wheel rotation. So the wheel's a bit twitchy, but whatever, I'll just deal with it for now. We'll see if I can go faster than my 202 I set the other day. Great sounds, great cockpit, great everything. Really a driver's car. We'll just do a few laps on this and call it a night. But this car is pretty fucking sweet. Yeah, my wheel rotation is way too tight. Really fun track to blast around, though. I forget where I found this, but it's definitely out there. Hope I got the gearing right. We'll see here. Yeah, it's a fun combo because this is more or less the TA cars at Nashville. By default, the brake bias is too far to the back, so I did change it. It's probably one of the few setup changes I made. I softened the springs all the way so they soaked up the bumps here. Because it is a street track. Oh fuck. And this car is super punishing. This is one of the hardest cars to drive in sim racing right now. It's like a GT3 car with no driver aids. But really, really heavy. And it's really easy to overdrive the front tires. It looks like I put down a heater when I drove this last. So I need 4/10. I don't think I have 4/10. Super lights for road racing, basically. So it's like a really nimble stock car, but it doesn't ever let you forget that it's a stock car. I remember that cruise ship. I'm pretty sure it's in Fast and Furious Crossroads because that's a SMS asset. Kind of neat. monster truck over the curbs. Engine sounds a bit quiet again. That's an AC thing. Every car is going to have different engine sound levels, so just something you have to be wary of. Wonder if gearing alone I'm going to get it. I forget why a final drive was here when I ran it last time. 202.9, not quite quick enough. My bad, hit the curb. Again, tricky car to drive, easy to overdrive entry. This thing is not for everyone. Sound is awesome. Yes, even with it dialed down a bit on my stream. Sounds pretty good. VRC did a great job on this car. Trans Am was very pro Assetto Corsa during the shutdowns for the virus that shall not be named. So I wonder if they struck up a deal to make this car. Because they ran like an eSport series with all the TA guys on AC with just American tracks and the Corvette C7R. But I don't doubt they're like, hey, that was pretty fucking cool, and paid to have a car made in AC. In lengthening the gear ratio, I really don't get a whole lot of wheel spin. So this isn't as difficult to drive as I remember, but it's still something to be wary of. Again, this track is from Shift 2 Unleashed, it's conversion. You can probably find a download link just by searching up like Miami Shift 2 AC. That was a great line through there. Look at that line. If I was on Twitch, I'd tell you to clip that. Got little lock-up lights on the dash. Very handy. Ease it into the corner. Even with the too tight steering box that I forgot to adjust, still running good times. It's just kind of twitchy. This is kind of like a fictionalized Nashville almost. Like if Nashville is actually good, because the Nashville IndyCar layout's terrible. I don't know if you guys watched that race last summer. Horrible. This is kind of in the same vein as Nashville, but just more well thought out. SMS has always had really good fantasy tracks. Even in PCARS 3, which again, game not a lot of people liked, they did a great job with like Shanghai and stuff like that too. Great exit. This will be a killer lap, wow. How are these TA cars in racing on oval? They generate too much downforce, and you can't trim the car out or make the gear ratio long enough, so it's kind of crap. Not something I'd advise. Oh, big send, look at that. Fuck, we got around on this lap too. Holy shit, we got sideways. I really don't do a lot of oval racing in AC because it's just not very good. right? Like, the draft package is kind of weird. The AI really don't understand how to race on an oval, and like that you should always take the left line. They back out of situations too quick because they have a road racing mindset. So the AI will lift and get on the brakes when they really shouldn't, or it's detrimental to them. Oh, we are hauling right now. Almost a full second up. Now you can see I'm getting greedy by hammering curbs. Maybe I'll break into the 159s. That'd be pretty sweet. Again, I've lengthened the gear ratio for the main really long straight, so I have like no torque in the lower gears, or no wheel spin I should say. So which made this way easier to drive than I thought it would. I mean, it still breaks free every now and then, but like off the hairpin I can just fucking mat it. God, we are flying. Look at that time. That would be a good lap. Holy shit, that might be in the 159s. Best lap, or last lap, was a 2:01.2. We're close to a second and a half up, and we are probably going to get it here. 2:00.06. Guess not, but... Oh. And we got a cut. That was a pretty good lap. Let's watch that again. Or maybe the last two so I can read the chat. Only one Sim TV cameras. What do you think the best Sims are online, realism, and having fun are? Online's definitely iRacing, even though I don't personally like it. Best structure, the most amount of cars to race in it. Realism? Oh, that's a good question. A mix between probably Race Room, Live for Speed, and AC, but it all depends on the car you pick. Some cars have overly forgiving tires in AC, but others are pretty bang on. Having fun... Oh, that's a tough question. AC because there's a shitload of mods, but in terms of just like diversity on the content list, if you have like 3 or 4 Discord buddies and you don't really care about realism and you're just like, let's load up in the game and just like bomb around for 10 minutes, or do like a short little race, first option is always going to be AC just because of mod diversity. The other two options, P-Cars 2, AMS 2, just because there's so much crap in them. And like even P-Cars 2, one of the main draws about the game is that there's just so much like weird stuff. Like you have like trucks that you can race in the snow, you know, like Ford F-150s. Race Room is a hidden gem. Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree with that. Some cars are better than others, and again, the pricing structure makes it so, like, not everyone's gonna have the same shit. You really have to get into the game on, like, a Black Friday deal, when they sell everything, every piece of content, every car, every track, every livery for, like, 40 to 50 bucks, because they usually do it once a year. That's the best time to get into it, so follow them on Facebook or, like, Instagram, and just watch for that deal. I can't get P-Cars to work well with my wheel, otherwise I'd play the crap out of it. Make sure you calibrate it in the options menu before you do anything. I know that sounds really stupid, but make sure you set wheel rotation to 900, and then make sure you go through the calibration process and really look at the instructions. Because there's a couple steps to the calibration process. You turn the wheel full lock one way, then you press X after you hold it there, and then you have to unwind it until it's only at 90 degrees to the left, and then you have to hold it there and press X again. And that'll fix a lot of your issues you have, because otherwise it'll feel like funny and feel too twitchy. That's a problem I ran into a lot when testing the game, is I'd forget to do that, or I'd rush through calibration, and I'd be like, why does my wheel feel fucky? Could offline rolling starts be feasible in AC with AI reworking? Maybe? I don't know, that's a good question. I'm not particularly after rolling starts in this game, to be honest. This game's really not an oval racing sim, so like I can deal with having standing starts. P-Car's wheel calibration is non-intuitive. That's, yeah, I agree with that. Fuck, this is a fun car track combo. Nice throwback to the shift days. The shift games were really underrated. I know people don't like the physics, and I generally agree with those comments. But it did a lot of stuff right. It had a progression system. It had a really nice array of cars, all with the same theme to it. And it had a really great fantasy tracks like this. Like, really good. Zero FFP strike for meters too, but I don't think my wheel is natively supported. Yeah, that might be an issue. That's why, like, honestly, I run, like, default shit. Like, I run a stock G29. Because, like, you increase your chance that it's going to be compatible with, like, the most amount of games and software and stuff like that. I suggest RF2 when it comes to oval racing. I don't. NASCAR 03 is still the king. Let's go for a tour around this place. Some people don't know if you hit F7 when playing Assetto Corsa, it turns the mouse into a free cam. Arrow keys move you around, holding right click and then moving with the mouse helps you look around. SMS put a ton of detail into this track. Looks really, really nice. Go fly out to the cruise ship. Maybe there's an Easter egg. Probably not. This again was an asset I think we used in Fast and Furious Crossroads. Looks pretty good. I believe we're in downtown Miami here. I'd have to check exactly where this is located. I think it's called Bayfront Park. I might have called it Bayview. Oh, and you know what? I'm an idiot, and I didn't change the tag. My bad, guys. Little monument here. This was, there's Formula Drift banners because Shift 2 had drifting and tie-ins with Formula Drift as a sanctioning body at the time. Some signs have been replaced though by whoever modded this. Don't know who. Might be the AC Track Reboot project. I'll have to look into that. Final corner here, subway system. Oh, I recognize this asset. This is the concert stage from we ended up using for P-Cars 3. There's a tree in the middle of the stage. There's some bushes in the middle of the stage. That's definitely a leftover. Don't know what banner this is. Can't really tell. It'd be cool to run a league race here. More AC banners that were probably redone just for this mod. Fly ahead more. This is probably the arena the Miami Heat play at, I would assume. I'd have to look that up. And then we actually have a functioning pit lane, which is really neat. This is not something Shift itself actually has. So whoever modded this actually had to like build it in. But they did a really good job of it, I think. Anyways, I think that's going to be it for the night. I streamed for a long time. Thanks for coming out, having fun. We put down a pretty good IndyCar time at the end of the day. Lots of fucking around with the Aero. It's disappointing that V8 Supercar mod sucked. But we got some Trans Am laps in the end. Is that a Best Buy logo? That is. You know what? This is an asset from Shift 2 as well. Because we carried that over into P-Cars 3 and we had to take that out. So we didn't have the rights to the Best Buy logo. That was like a last minute fix. That's why I recognize that. Anyways, thank you for coming out. I'll probably do this tomorrow. I'll have something to do. I look forward to seeing all of Jacoby's crazy videos he uploaded in the past 3 hours. Anyways, cheers, guys.